Good morning, everyone. My name is Vaishnavi Shukla. I'm an assistant professor at Faculty of Juridical Sciences, Rama University, and today we are here to discuss the topic of CSR. So, first of all, we'll begin by discussing the definition of CSR. CSR simply refers to a business model that integrates the societal and environmental aspects, even though the sole objective of the businesses is to earn profit, but yet these businesses aim to create a positive impact in the society by focusing on the CSR. CSR has been legally provided under section 135 of Companies Act. Not all the companies have to follow the regulations that are prescribed under this section. Only some specific companies that meet the criteria that will further discuss are required to meet the CSR requirements. Some of the major features that are listed of CSR are voluntary commitment. All these companies have to voluntarily contribute to these activities. These activities are specified under Schedule 7 of CSR Act. Stakeholder welfare. Stakeholders are the various parties that are related or are impacted by the activities of business. If a business is involving in these activities, they have to specifically focus on balancing the interest of all the stakeholders, whether they are the shareholders, employees, customers, or any other person who is being impacted by business. The third point is sustainable growth. CSR specifically focuses on creating a long-term value in the business. It aims to benefit the business in long run, even though the benefits are not visible like in short run, but in long run, CSR aims at assisting the business. Here we have the legal framework. As I have told you earlier that CSR is prescribed under section 135 of Indian Companies Act 2013. The act has been continuously being amended and clarified in order to reduce the hurdles for amendment of the CSR activities. Compliance challenges. There are multiple challenges due to some regulatory complexities of this act, but still CSR has performed very well in the past few years, and there are various sectors like education and health that are leading. Developmental opportunities. CSR helps in creating specific and significant funds for the various activities that I earlier told you are mentioned in Schedule 7. CSR applicability criteria. All those companies who have net worth of rupees 500 crore or more are required to meet the CSR requirements. Companies with turnover of rupees 1000 crores and net profit of rupees 5 crore or more. All these three requirements are to be met by the companies in order to meet the CSR eligibility criteria. However, the contribution amount is quite different. After meeting all these three requirements, the companies are required to spend an average of 2% of past 3 years of their net profit on the CSR fund. After meeting all these three criteria, all these companies are required to meet 2% of their average net profit of past 3 years. CSR committee. CSR committee specifically has 3+ members, out of which one should be an independent director. These directors come together in order to formulate these CSR policies. They even monitor the implementation and oversee the expenditures, how much fund is being spent, how much fund is not being spent, on what activities are the fund is being spent. Next we have to ensure compliance with the legal requirement. Next is the spending requirement that we have already discussed, that how these funds are to be spent on the Schedule 7 activities, and the unspent amount that is being left over at the end of the year are to be specifically reported to the company. So in this graph, we can specifically see the priority CSR sector areas. These sectors or these activities are already mentioned in the Schedule 7 of the Indian Companies Act 2013 that provides for CSR. Education, health, environment, skill development, rural development, and women empowerment. These are the sectors which in the past 2 years are leading in CSR. Education and literacy, healthcare and sanitation, these two sectors are leading and are at the forefront in terms of CSR contribution by various corporates. Now we'll look up at the various implementational models and approaches for the implementation of CSR. These corporate foundations can come up with their own bodies that in long term and strategically formulate policies for the implementation of these CSR fund. Some of the prominent examples for the CSR foundations are Tata Trust, Reliance Foundation, and Infosys Foundation. Afterwards, these corporates they can have a collaborations with multiple NGOs. Some of the prominent examples of this are Mahindra has recently partnered with Nandi Foundation that aims at developing the villages and mainly focuses on and encourages women and children for their overall development. Just like them, Wipro has collaborated with Pratham, an NGO that specifically works on education of children. Apart from this, these corporates can directly implement these CSR projects in order to have a greater control over these policies. Some of the prominent examples of this direct implementation policies are Vedanta's Nandghar project that aims at like development of Anganwadis that specifically focuses on education and nourishment of young children. Apart from that, Bharti Enterprises has also launched its rural development programs that focuses on developing the villages and improving the overall life. So here we have to discuss the challenges. The various challenges that a corporate faces in implementation of CSR are: the first and the most prominent one is lack of expertise. Not all those regular departments that deal with production, sales, marketing, or any other thing, they do not have the expertise of dealing with CSR. CSR in itself is a very new thing and it requires its own experts in order to ensure effective implementation of those policies. Next is administrative burden. Amid all the work related burden in those corporates, the CSR aspect is constantly being ignored by the companies as it does not meet or align with the overall the sole objective of those corporates. Next is measurement issues. There is no specific metric in order to measure the effectiveness of CSR. One cannot specifically measure how well these policies or these funds are being utilized. Next is local resistance. Usually people in various sectors, they are quite resistant to changes. Whenever CSR is being implemented in any other sector, it leads to resistance among people. And the last but not least is regulatory complexity. It creates various loopholes that make it quite impossible to ensure the effective implementation of CSR. A recent report has been released, that is India CSR Outlook report by CSR Box, that is a platform that specifically focuses on integrating the environmental and social concerns. This platform has specifically published in its India CSR Outlook report of 2024 that 40% of the businesses they struggle with aligning CSR activities with their prominent or the major goal. So here at the end we will be discussing the various CSR success stories in India. The first one and the most prominent one is Tata Steel's Rural Development Program. Tata Steel has launched its rural development program in the states of Jharkhand and Odisha. Thereby, this program has uplifted the life of various tribal villages and has provided them a livelihood training. Next is Infosys Foundation's Library Initiative. This program specifically focused in the state of Karnataka was it aimed at bringing books and digital resources to children who found it difficult to find the reading material in order to survive in this competitive world. ITC's Water Stewardship Program. ITC has created over 1 million rainwater harvesting projects in various areas. Thereby, it has created a very positive impact on the groundwater level of multiple areas. Next is HDFC Bank's Rural Development Program. This program also focused on creating an upliftment in the life of villagers across multiple states. And last one is HUL's Swachh Adat Swachh Bharat program. Hindustan Unilever Limited has launched this program in order to promote hand washing with soap and building and contributing to the Swachh Bharat mission. At last, we will discuss the significant differences between CSR and ESG. CSR here stands for Corporate Social Responsibility, whereas ESG stands for Environmental, Social and Governance. Most of the times, these two topics are considered as one, even though they are significantly different. CSR is mandatorily prescribed under the Indian Companies Act of 2013, whereas ESG has no such mandatory provisions in any law. And the other difference between CSR and ESG is that CSR is not a metric that is usually measured by investors. However, ESG is significantly being monitored by the investors while investing in any business. Thank you.